VAT refund, value-added tax refund po para sa mga non-resident tourists, mga foreign passport holders na eligible sila sa VAT refund for locally purchased goods made electronically or in cash na up to 3,000 pesos per transaction, no? Makukuha nila yung 12%.
Yes.
At kayo po sa Tourism Congress of the Philippines, so I looked it up, kayo ay private sector body that advises the government on tourism policy and its development and its implementation. Sir James, kayo po ba inakonsulta tungkol po dito sa eventually po na isinabatas? Ano po ang rekomendasyon noon ninyo na talaga pong makakahikayat po ito? It's going to help the tourism sector para to entice tourists to come.
Just to be clear, that the Tourism Congress is actually backed up by the Tourism Act of the Philippines, which is the law, right? It's 95-93. We're actually a body that was created because of the Tourism Act. With regards to the VAT refund, yes, I forgot, lost the word. VAT refund for non-residents. I think that's a good thing. I think that would help our tourism industry. Personally, I was not part of the group that was consulted in this because it was started 3 years ago. It's been in the works 3 years, but I think the law in general is a good thing for the tourism industry and also for the country. It should help us generate more tourism activity and increase our tourist spending in the country as well.
Okay, so Sir James, you support this bill from what I gather, but another point of concern is that the implementation, no, that's what they're saying. So far, what has just been established, it's a minimum of 3,000 per single transaction. It's only for foreigners with passports, foreign passports. But the implementation, do you think that this is going to be a problem? And knowing how Filipinos are, they have a way, of going around, skirting around the issue. If they have balikbayan friends, they would probably ask their balikbayan friends to use it. What safeguards do you see we can put in place so that it really encourages tourists to come here and not instead of taking advantage, the Filipinos taking advantage of this amendment?
Like I mentioned in one of the other interviews, it really will boil down to the implementation regulations, right?
Yeah.
There's the IRR that comes out. In the end, I think if you look at the other countries who are doing this, they have made it very easy for people to claim the refund. Now, it's just a matter of how strict the government wants to be when it comes to claiming the refunds, for example, right? If you go to Singapore, if you check in luggage and you leave, you have to show all of the items, the goods that you've purchased.
Yeah.
But if you go to Japan, you don't really have to show anything, right?
Correct.
Unless you buy something worth, I'm not sure if it's $30,000 or something above that level. That's the only time they request you to show it. So it really will boil down to how the government decides to implement it and how lax they will be in certain areas or how tight they will be. But for this to work properly, it's really going to be the whole process of securing and being able to make it easy for customers or tourists to claim back the refunds.
I think the bill, according to the bill, I don't know if kasama yung provision na in the final enacted law na the Department of Finance is going to engage the services of one or more reputable, globally recognized and experienced VAT refund operators. So meron talagang parang third party na tawagin mo na sila ay magpapatupad. But having said that, nabanggit po dito sa aming research na some of the countries have already parang recuperated yung tourism sector nila. Countries that like the United States, Japan. Pero nabanggit ang Pilipinas bilang isa po sa mga bansa kung saan hindi pa po bumabalik sa pre-pandemic levels. Yung challenges remain in trying to reach yung pre-pandemic tourism level and growth. Do you agree? And to what do we ano kaya po ang kadahilanan kung bakit hindi pa po natin maabot yung pre-pandemic levels ng tourist arrivals?
So if you look at our arrivals and you compare it to pre-pandemic levels, we're missing one sector, which is the Chinese arrivals, right? So I think the DOT has done a good job to try to switch away from the Chinese market, and they've recently launched e-visas for India to try to bring the Indian market into the Philippines. The challenge that we have there now is now flights from the Philippines directly to India. So hopefully that will materialize maybe next year. And if once we have a better linkage with India, then we should see increase in travel from that market. But there's also a lot of good news, right? You have Air France flying 3 times a week now to the Philippines. That's a positive sign. Air Canada will start in April, try flying to Manila to Vancouver. That's another positive sign. So there's a lot of positive signs that are happening, and hopefully 2025 will be better than 2023.
Together, sa NET25, sa NET25.